Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, my name is Ahad Raza, and today I'm going to take you through a tactical concept. And what we're going to talk about is taking time away from our opponents. Now, if you haven't watched Joel Makin's fantastic series on tactics and winning matches, please do so. So what does taking time away from our opponents mean? Well, it could mean one of many things. You could do it by hitting hard, so the ball travels faster through the court. It could also mean getting onto a ball early and thus giving your opponent less time to recover after their shots. You could do it from multiple areas in the court. So to simplify things, we're going to focus on movement and taking time away from our opponent in the front of the court. And I'm going to talk about some of the technical aspects to consider when doing so. Now, for context, a very common way in which you can create the scenario is the same sort of scenario we've used in this series this month, and it is hit a high quality drive into the back, force a weak boast from your opponent, and then we're going to talk about what to do from there. So let's imagine that my opponent has hit a weak boast, or I forced them to hit a weak boast. When I'm moving into the front, there are a few things that I want to think about. Number one, I need to think about my movement, and in particular, the timing and speed of my first step off the tee so that I can get on the ball early. You can also obviously think about your comfort zone with open stance versus closed stance hitting. I'm not going to get into those details. What I will talk about, however, is my swing, my technique of hitting, and possibly even my racket angle if you guys want to get into a bunch of nitty-gritty. But the idea is the following. I'm going to assume my opponent is in that back right corner. I've got them under pressure, so I've adjusted my floating tee position because I'm anticipating a boast based on their tendencies and the quality of my shot, like we talked about previously in another video. And I get on this ball quickly. And as I get on this boast quickly, what I'm going to do is the following. I'm actually not going to come in with a massive swing and then try to cut the ball and carve the ball in. I'm going to simplify things. So let me show you what that looks like with a bit more of a close-up view. Now from this position, I could go close stance and put that drop in. I could go open stance and put that drop in. But what I'm going to focus on here, this is my personal preference and different people have different preferences, but I will not come in big swing cut when I'm this close to the front wall, when my opponent's already stranded and I want to take time away from them. I'm actually going to simplify my swing by just tapping that ball onto the front wall, reaching forward and taking that ball out in front of me, as far in front of me as possible, to take time away from my opponent. So what does that look like? Personally, I like to go open stance in this situation. So I'm going to come this way and just tap the ball onto that front wall. So let's say a boast comes in. I'm literally just going to go in like that and tap it and get the ball super early. So again, boast comes in, I just step in and I tap onto that front wall. Now, there are a couple of technical manipulations you have to make. Generally speaking, we all have a bit of an open racket face. This open racket face shifts a little bit when you're taking that ball out in front. So I'm actually going to put my thumb on the back of the racket and flatten my swing grip out a little bit and my racket face out so that I can reach forward and just tap the ball. If I come in with my traditional racket face and I try to reach forward, chances are the ball's going to pop up and it's going to come into the middle of the court. So that's a technical adjustment you're going to have to make as soon as you start getting that ball way out in front of your body. So again, to summarize, choose whichever foot you want. I like open stance coming in. Simplify the swing so you're not coming with a big backswing. Deception is not the key here. It's getting on the ball early and taking it out in front. Simplify with a short backswing. Reach out in front of you. So make sure your racket face is not too open. You're just going to come in and tap that ball into the front and then give your opponent a line along the side wall because ideally you want. There are many ways to practice this skill. A simple way with a partner is just the typical boast drive that we do. Instead of just doing a boast and a drive, you can do two shots. So the person from the back hits a boast, person in the front hits a drop to themselves, and then off of the drop, they hit a drive, and then the pattern continues. The person out of the back hits a drive to themselves, then they boast, and it continues. Now, if I'm doing this as a solo drill, I might do exactly what I showed you, which is just feed myself a drop, take the ball early, and recover, and then I could just do this consecutively. So I just come in, put it in. Now you notice I'm stepping out every time, so I play my drop and then I'm stepping out of it because you just want to build the habit of coming off your shot. All right, folks, a bunch of technical details here. It's a bit more of an advanced skill to take that ball out in front of you by manipulating your racket face, but I think you're ready for it. Leave a comment if you have questions. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Give the video a thumbs up if you, in fact, like it, and enjoy.